inside their own base, not even needing a tower, not even needing a creep wave, and GG! Na'Vi will break the DreamLeague first and take for the first time ever their title.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ASUS ROG Dream League, where we talk a lot about Dota. So hopefully you're Fnatic Dota fans, because that's exactly what we're going to be seeing today in our 3 games. First up is going to be Meet Your Makers versus Fnatic. They will play. Fnatic yet to win a match. Meet Your Makers also lost theirs. Then we're going to have a repeat, but this time it's going to be Fnatic versus Meet Your Makers. So it's a totally different game. And then last, we're going to see Cloud9's debut in the ASUS ROG Dream League as they again go up versus Fnatic. So 3 games today for Fnatic. We'll see how they do. And joining me at the studio once again is Bruno. How's it going, Bruno?
I'm doing great today. Expecting to see more Fnatic wins because I have the best players right there, Fly and Trixie. It's going to do wonders. Why are you laughing?
You just called them trash players the other day because they haven't been earning you any points, and now they're saying the best players.
Didn't Trixie get like negative when he played Doom the other day? I'm pretty sure he got negative points because you get like minus 0.3 for a death. I don't think he had any kills.
How many points in total do you have now?
I have me or them?
Them.
Them. I think Fly has 0.4 and Trixie has 1.3. But they're gonna get better.
Yeah. And talking shit about fantasy, despite doing absolutely awful himself, is none other than Andy, who will be doing some commentary for us today, and Lumi, who's actually doing pretty well in the fantasy league. So how's it going, boys?
I'm actually winning. Oh no, you're winning. I'm down.
He's beating me right now.
Yeah.
But I have No Tail and Era playing 3 times today.
Yeah, you can actually come back. That's the scary thing.
I'm gonna tell him in the lobby, you let him get every single kill and tower last hit so I can fucking beat you.
I don't think you're winning.
If we get within 13 points, and I had played Fnatic, and I lose because I didn't play Fnatic,
then
you'll be mad.
I'll be mad.
You'll be mad.
That's mad.
All right, and backed by popular demand, his mum sent a lot of emails yesterday. It's Shane.
Thanks very much. My team is actually doing really well. We're playing these buy guys, and we're owning them.
Well, they're just, you know, they don't know where to go. They're confused.
They don't even have a team, really.
I think they left. That's why they said bye.
Yep, that's true. Okay, yeah. So we're back. It's I'm still I'm gonna have to start wearing shirts because I'm really annoyed. It's cold in the studio.
It is.
Everyone else over there and here on the end of the table very smart in terms of how we're dressing. Got your jackets.
I'm smart in the other way.
What way is that?
Well, you say a person is smart when it's clever or when it's handsome looking. That's a smart man.
I've never heard that expression.
No, that's a British smart. Come on.
Have you never heard a phrase?
Yeah,
oh, he looks
smart. Yes, exactly.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I think the intro was, you lost me there. You pointed at your head. I was like, nothing smart. I was like, I'm done. Okay, but speaking of things that you should be doing if you're smart, is heading over to facebook.com and /ROG Nordic, Republic of Gamer, ROG Nordic. And today is the day you really, I think, want to fill in the form where you pick your MVP of the week. And if you get it correct, and you're one of the people who get it correct, and you get chosen for whatever reason, you can win this graphics card, which goes in your computer.
If I was me, I would actually go for...
No, I needed to tell people what this is. You know, it goes in your PC.
Yes.
Take it out of the box first, though. That's a mistake.
I would totally go for a Fnatic pick, because just the fact that they played 4 games this week, if they do well in the 3 games today, they can surely become MVPs.
I mean, Notel's already kind of up there from his game, even though they lost it versus Alliance.
Even though he kind of threw it himself by jumping with the meepo.
But he also played really well up until that point. So he was like super hot and cold in the same game. Like he played really well, and then he threw that one fight, and it's like, crap.
That's after the Roche when he blinked up on
when he
it.
blinked to the high ground,
Well, anyway, either way, how are we doing with the compendium, and how's Twitter going, Bruno?
Compendium is doing okay. We're up to $67,000. The next goal is $80,000. We're going to get there soon, and we're going to get the Invoker set.
And we're also up to almost our next secret stretch goal.
We're almost at our next secret.
So you also,
but it's a secret.
You're about to make a secret stretch go because you haven't made it yet.
No.
Come on. We're not that.
Last time you were on camera, you said I haven't made any goals yet.
Because I was playing dumb, but in fact, as we all now know, we're smart.
Now, the two of you is confusion because I'm not following right now.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
But yeah, anyways, so compendium, there's that. As we always say, the actual compendium will roll in probably soon, hopefully this week.
You sound like a broken record.
No, but people are tuning in. Maybe they didn't tune in yesterday or the day before. But for the Twitter, if you go and tweet at DreamLeague, we're going to be reading your tweets later. And so if you have any questions or anything interesting to say, we'll read it.
Yeah, send us some questions. Make sure you can address them to anybody if you want to ask for advice on heroes, or you just want to... Yeah, Shane is pretty good.
I know all the heroes.
Yeah, I know their names.
I mean, that could be a question. Please read off all the heroes without looking.
All right.
That would actually be really hard.
Baron.
In alphabetical order.
Anti-mage.
Alchemist is for...
Damn.
I'm pretty good.
All right, so yeah, make sure you get your questions in on Twitter, and we'll be checking in on those throughout the show. But yesterday, we had some debuts in the tournament, and not all of them went well, I would say. So we can take a little recap. First off was ROG's Kiss versus, I think, Virtus Pro, I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah, and Virtus Pro already lost the game. This was ROG's Kiss's first game, their debut match, and they did do well, and they won their game. But again, Illidan from Virtus Pro, not playing great. He's here on the Naga trying to bait out the leap. He did that successfully, but unfortunately, after dodging the arrow, he's going to eat a Sunstrike. And how was this game for you, Lumi and Andy and Shane?
I really think that the way that they played this, and that arrow was really weird, by the way. I just wanted to say that while it was on screen, because that was a very strange hitbox. But I didn't quite understand the way that they laned it. I just think that putting Illidan in a 1v1 in this game just takes away so much potential from the hero. And it was just ROG's Kiss pretty much non-stop, just all over VP the entire game.
It's like a montage.
Yeah, it's just like one of those headshot videos.
Yeah. They lost the top lane pretty bad and the bottom lane. So
Yeah.
it was pretty much done from the start.
Yeah, and of course Illidan's up to his usual Illidan next level skill build that we will see in the next 4 years.
Yeah, the max illusion.
We don't,
I was trying really hard to defend that for like some reason, and it was like, I can't.
I don't understand.
I can't.
Yeah. So ROG's Kiss ended up taking that victory, and next up was Alliance versus Meet Your Makers. Also Meet Your Makers debut. Alliance had played before against Fnatic, already won one, so I think they played 2 actually before.
Was it the...
No, they played Fnatic previously, but either way, they went up versus Meet Your Makers. And it was all about EGM, Shane.
Oh, it definitely was. This play here in particular, like, imagine beating a solo mid as a support, like, in that position. It's amazing. Like, he played so well in that game, and he got a double kill in mid. It's awesome.
Yep. Here comes the EMP. How annoying is Quaswex Invoker now, Andy?
Crazy annoying? It was always annoying, but the thing is the EMP detonate time was really long when you had low points into Wex. So you pretty much had to always max it out. At least there's some versatility and different builds that you can do. But I really feel like MYM just never really had an opportunity to make anything big happen in this game. The Weaver pick for me was a really big mistake. I think they just wanted a hero that could 1v1 in that situation, who would still do okay. But he was forced into first into BKB. And Ace didn't play bad. Like, I can't knock him for his play. It was just BKB first Weaver is so
Yeah. And for people who weren't sure, they had to pick that Weaver to go solo versus Admiral Bulldog's Lone Druid. And then you had a Chen Lone Druid and just the pushing power. I think Pugner as well.
Yep.
So yeah, pretty awesome. And then Alliance got to play against Team Dog, and it was their debut as well. So we were all interested in how Team Dog would do. And we got a pretty stale game, very little kills. Loda played the Naga Siren and pretty much farmed. And this highlight will probably show you every kill in the game.
Yeah, more or less. The thing that was funny about this game is that he actually drew a sad face on the map because I don't think he wanted to play Naga, or he didn't want to go mid, one or the other, because S4, of course, was lagging during this game. Had like 400 ping or something crazy like that. But it was just not really the most action-packed. Like James said, this is pretty much all the action that happened.
Yeah, there was a swap there on the Doom that caused the Shivas to hit the whole team, which was probably a mistake. They wanted to swap the Clinks, who got initiated on. And despite a little bit earlier, you saw Meet Your Makers pick up a very sneaky Roshan around a 5-minute time. That was probably their best play.
Yes. Yeah, they got 3 Roshans.
Yeah, and then afterwards, this initiation with Load of Sleep goes straight on to the Clinks, which was Spycat was actually playing because they were missing a player. Normally he's support. And as soon as they picked up those 2 kills, Team Dog just GG'd, and that was it.
So can we agree that Team Dog played like Dog?
I don't think they. Okay.
I thought it was a great showing for Team Dog. They surprised them with 3 Roshans, especially the first one with the Medallion Chen. We'd never seen that before, so it was good. Except Loda, Naga.
It was just a bad strategy against
what's thrown at them.
Playing.
Yeah. Outdrafted. Not
maybe
outplayed.
A bit.
Maybe.
Maybe a bit. Yeah.
Good.
You saw the Venge going for the Manta as well, which was kind of weird. Like,
I thought Lincoln's would have been okay, but even under those circumstances, like if Loda gets that much farm, you don't win. Like with that lineup, you just can't. You just never have an opportunity to really, because you have to kill the farm Naga, and Song has to be down somehow, which is a 60-second cooldown. So you're just like, we can't end the game ever.
Yikes.
Yeah, all right. So that was yesterday's games. There were 3 of them, and today there is the same. And we could take a look at the schedule just to make sure you guys know when you should be tuning in, even though you should stay here the whole time, especially if you're a Fnatic fan, because Meet Your Makers Fnatic starting in just a moment, 6:45, sorry, and then at 8 o'clock Fnatic versus Meet Your Makers again. So 2 matches for them, and then Cloud9 versus Fnatic. Pretty much, I would say, the highlight of today in terms of how the matches will go. And again, with the standings, you can see Alliance sit up there at top. Fnatic, with their loss versus Alliance, are going to sit at the bottom. Actually, no, Na'Vi they lost to. I do apologize. That was the first day. But they have a chance to climb up now. They have a chance to go all the way to the top. And it's pretty important for them, even because they get to play Meet Your Makers twice because they're in the same division.
Yeah.
And
I feel like in both matchups, people are probably going to be favoring Fnatic. But I think we saw that yesterday, MYM individually aren't bad. Like, they're not bad players. Like, we saw Ace in the 1v1 versus Emerald Bulldog. Granted, he didn't get pulled sentries, but he still did.
Are you implying that they're a bad team?
No, I'm implying that their players are skilled.
You just said their players are not bad.
Right.
It looked like there's an implicit but there.
No, I mean, but I didn't like their drafting at all. Like, they picked like 4 heroes, and they have a very specific style that's like super aggressive, awesome, okay, cool. Then they last pick a Weaver. And I'm like, all of a sudden your draft just feels very weak and split. I don't know.
Well, let's introduce the players that Andy's talking about from Meet Your Makers and see how skilled they can be today. So Meet Your Makers lineup consists of Unicorn, Exist, Ace, Crit, and Mini. What can you tell us about the team?
Well, I mean, you personally think that Mini is one of the better support players, and I'm kind of inclined to agree with you. His map awareness has always been, I would say, pretty up there. You know, he was famous for his Wisp. I think we talked about that the other day. And anything or anyone that he partners with, he seems to do very well, at least in terms of controlling the pace of the game.
He went 1-8 on a Visage, I think.
Yeah, but that was more like the situation that he was given. Sometimes it's not fair to judge the player per se, because they get in situations where their heroes are just limited in what options they have. But that's why I think that if they can draft maybe a little bit better, cleaner strategies, I think they'll do really well.
Yeah, is he the team captain, Mini, for Meet Your Makers?
I don't know,
I'm not sure. Yeah,
I wonder if he is.
He may be. I think it's one of those teams that has a lot of input, you know? So,
yeah. And you got Crit on support as well, who was obviously a mid player before. So those 2 supports should be really strong together. And they're going up against Fnatic. We'll introduce them just to make sure you know who they are. You're going to see them 3 times today. And Fnatic is going to be Era, Hanny, Trixie, Notel, and Fly. Shane, have you got any of these on your draft? What can you tell us?
I don't. I actually don't think. No.
No.
But Fly, he can kick some arse. That lad can kick some arse. But
he also likes getting his ass kicked, if you notice that.
I've seen some things happen. There was a clip on YouTube of him just kind of walking into a team instead of sending an illusion in. Did you see that one?
He did.
Oh, I think we actually cast that game. Didn't we? Wasn't that?
What did he do?
He was playing some hero with
Naga. It
illusions.
was Naga.
It was Naga. He was playing support Naga, and I think he tried to like box his images and send them in, but he actually
he
walked
sent
into
himself.
the enemy
Yeah, I
team
remember
himself.
that. We casted that game.
But if you ask him, it was no tail micro. But yeah, Fly is definitely one of the members of Fnatic. I think it's the most important to transition into this league in terms of getting that team up to speed when it comes to bans and picks. How have Fnatic been bans and picks, Lumi?
They're actually pretty good. I like their bans and pick in the sense that it's very, very unpredictable. Like, you look at anybody's draft, you can't really say, oh, I'm going to ban out Era, I'm going to ban out No-Tail, because there's no banning out when they play 9, 10, 11 different heroes. So we saw No-Tail support Meepo the other day. We're hoping to see it again today.
They actually won with that. Not that day, but yesterday.
Who did they win against?
Some team.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I was
Yeah,
just
sorry.
curious.
I
There
don't
was some
know.
irrelevant tournament, so it's hard to remember, right? But either way, speaking of how good they are drafting, that's where we're going now. The draft has just started, so we're going to go into the match with our three commentators, Shane, Andy, and Lumi, and it will be Meet Your Makers versus Fnatic. So best of luck to the teams, and hope you guys enjoy the game. See you in a moment.
All right, so Fnatic versus MYM. MYM obviously not having the greatest of debuts the other day. They have yet to secure a win here in the ASUS ROG Dream League, but they're hoping to do it against Fnatic, who last season during Dream League did exceptionally well during the group stage. Or can we call it a group stage, Bruno? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a group stage? Okay. Sorry, I was checking with the man who knows the stats, and I feel like he's the safe one to ask in that situation. But they did really well. They went to the LAN finals. They got second place. But I feel like they still have something to prove here. You know, they can take it all the way. And they're going to first pick a hero that we actually haven't gotten to see too much in Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, I personally like Ancient Apparition quite a bit, especially for Fnatic's playstyle, where they like to, at times, do very aggressive laning. They like to do things like CK Wisp or Tiny Wisp, where you kind of just come out of nowhere and get kills. And Ancient Apparition, with that chilling touch, gives you the ability to do that. Obviously, as a support, the co-feed is not exactly your best, stun. You need something to set it up. But Ancient Apparition Ice Blast is an amazing spell. If you ever get an Acceptor on that thing, I feel like it's one of those automatic GG. Like, it doesn't obviously win you the game, but it just helps you get there so much easier. But MYM is going to go into Batrider and Slaughter, two heroes that are very, very mobile once those Blink Dagger comes online.
Do you go with the cold feet straight away on Ancient Apparition, or do you look at the Chilling Touch?
I think depending on the lane, Chilling Touch is sometimes better. If you have A disable, then Chilling Touch is just infinitely better because of the pure damage output. And during that time, even if you get like 2 auto attacks off a piece, that's an extra couple hundred damage, especially if you're running something like a tri-lane. And my question is, do they just pick Meepo now? Like, do they want to go with another Meepo support? Because they showed against Batrider it can be really strong.
It works on all the Meepos, does it?
Yeah, it hits every single Meepo when you use Chilling Touch. So if you get caught, and it's surely going to be a late game type of situation where you have like Aghanims and all your Meepos are there, you can just get obliterated in like 2 or 3 seconds if you don't have a BKB. So it's terrifying stuff.
So for Fnatic's second pick, they're going to go into Venomancer, so that will answer us question of will we see a Meepo? The answer is no. I'm actually not too sure whether Venomancer is a good pickup here. It seems like Fnatic as a team overall, they really like Vena. We saw it in the opening match against Na'Vi as well. And again, with that said, the wards are very good against Blink heroes overall. Personally, I like something a little bit more like Nyx Assassin overall. We saw how well Nyx has been doing against Batrider. The ability to kind of, stun him through the Firefly is very, very effective. The Mana Drain is going to be extremely effective over Slaughter, but we don't see that hero, so we'll leave it on the back burner for now. What does Venomancer add to us for us? I mean, Veno Ultimate plus AAO, that's a lot of kind of damage over time. And
here's my 2 cents on it, right? You have 2 supports right now who basically only have to cast 2 spells apiece, and then they're done, right?
Okay.
So you like Icy Touch, or excuse me, you Chilling Touch your team, and then you Ice Blast, right? Cold Feet, obviously, if you can. And then even if you die, your damage is done. Venomancer is pretty much the same way. And against teams who have really good initiation, it kind of makes them think about who they want to go on first, because if you don't stop the Poison Nova and you don't stop the Ice Blast, if you take a prolonged fight against that kind of damage, it's going to be very, very hard to deal with. I wouldn't even be surprised to see them go into something like Prophet, just so whenever you take a team fight, there's the opportunity for you to get heroes just, you know, from residual damage output.
Sure.
So it is kind of an older strategy, but it definitely is viable.
Yeah, with that said, though, MYM could pick up a couple of AoE heroes, and suddenly these squishy supports like AA and Veno could just die to the collateral AoE fire. So far, we don't have too much AoE from Meteor Maker yet, but obviously with more supports and mid drafted up, we'll see how things.
Ancient Apparition doesn't do great as well when you have like Slardar blinking on you, getting in your face with the minus armor. Like.
Well, it's definitely a Ghost Scepter game just from that one hero, or at least try to get some Force Staffs out so you can try to kite around. But the other thing that you have to remember too is if you manage to hit a Slardar or a Batrider with a Gale before either of them have BKB, and I'm sure Batriders will be a bit later than Slardars, but if that happens, if you do pop the BKB, it doesn't negate the slow. Right, the damage is pretty much already dealt, and then you can start going into kite mode. But Meteor Maker is seemingly going a very aggressive, in-your-face style of pick. They're going to pick Abaddon next, so it's going to be most likely just shielding Slardars and letting him do pretty much whatever he wants.
Go ham.
Yeah, Abaddon actually does quite well here, particularly for his ability to keep other people alive for those kind of dot damage we've been talking about, the Ice Blast and the Venomancer Ultimate. Not only that, the Aphotic Shield will remove most of these debuffs, including Cold Feet, as well as Venomancer Gale. So it'll keep your Slardar healthy, it'll keep him moving fast, and that's exactly where Slardar wants to be. So Fnatic, if they're going to go for a little bit more single target lockdown, this Abaddon's going to have a lot to say about it. But curiously, the point for me is, they went into the Slaughter combo, but where's that Dazzle? Dazzle was banned out earlier, so it seems like teams are respecting that hero a lot more as he is trending into the first ban phase, which, do you think he should be in there?
I think that he is, or was, one of the most underrated heroes for a very long time.
Right, but are we overrating it now, kind of like on the bounce back?
I don't think it's overrating. I think it's a hero who has ridiculous lane presence, high base damage, a good animation, can be run as a farming hero or a support. He has incredible versatility, and he's a fight changer, right? Like, if you get a good Grave in a fight, that is game-breaking. If somebody isn't dying in that 5-second period where you either initiate on him and you want to kill him straight away or something like that, you know? So I do think he is valuable enough to first ban.
Okay.
I think this AA could go mid. Fnatic have been trying some weird stuff lately. They had Omni Knight mid in that game we were watching earlier.
Yeah, when they played against Navi and Starlighter, they had Omni mid. He actually did very well in terms of the lane, but their fighting didn't really go well at all, and the game was pretty bad after that. But I think
he does really well mid because you have the massive damage from the Chilling Touch, and then you just win your lane.
Normally, I'm inclined to agree with you, but I think AA and Weaver just work so well together as a laning combo, mostly for that Chilling Touch, because he could get right next to you so very quickly and chase so well. So I think we are going to see some sort of laning situation with AA and Weaver, possibly even going offensive trialing and attack that dual melee setup of Abaddon and Slaughter. And Shadow Shaman is, you know, a range hero, but not exactly the best range overall. You could dive and kill that lane quite easily, provided if Abaddon shield comes a little bit late or whatnot. So one thing I am worried about is that, yes, this Weaver is going to be very mobile, but at the same time very squishy, especially if you're initiating him with things like Flaming Lasso and Slaughter Crush. So I think Fnatic needs to beef up a little bit. Whether that's going to come from the mid and the off lane, we will have to see. But as of right now, this lineup gets blown up too easily.
They have a lot of lockdown for the Weaver as well. So when I play against Weaver in pubs, I'm always worried about, like, oh my god, we can't control him. He's just going crazy on us. But they've got like the Crush, the Batrider ulti, and all the Shadow Shaman control. It's pretty strong against them. Like.
Yeah, I share your skepticism. I think that Weaver in the situation is a little bit strange, but I'm going to give Fnatic the benefit of the doubt and say that they have some kind of plan. I don't think that they're banking on it becoming kind of like a rat player where he just tries to counter push, because against 2 or 3 guaranteed blink heroes, that's really not a good option for him. And the supports aren't really that mobile, especially the Venomancer. Even though AA can ult anywhere, it's very unlikely that that's going to be securing them kills unless they do want to try to go with a full lineup of heroes that have, you know, mobility like Nature's Prophet or Spectre or something crazy like that. But I don't even think that that's going to be the case. Yeah, they're just going to go with the Nyx instead. Okay. And I like Nyx against teams with low mana pools. It's always really nice to be able to just mana burn Abaddon one time, and then he can't even use his skill set, more or less. So it's always going to be quite strong. Obviously good against Bat 2, and a very much needed disable that prior to right now they didn't even have. Like, they didn't have a stun, but now they do.
Oh, Chilling.
Well, Cold Feet is a
stun, not really.
But you have to pretty much preemptively Gale or somehow hold him in place. But
So do you reckon this Nyx will be safe lane and then offensive try lane? Is that the game plan here?
Well, they could do either. I think it's still an inherent risk to put a Weaver, Veno, AA tri-lane against Slardar, Abaddon, because it's very easy to overextend in those situations, and then you end up like trying to tower dive because you think, oh man, I can totally get this kill, when you can't. So, and plus Slardar is actually very tanky as a strength hero. He has good strength gain, very high base armor. And with Abaddon shield, it's going to be pretty tough even for a lane like that to harass him. But we'll see. It very well could be.
They put the Nyx bottom, get him level 6, and then rotate the carry down to take his place when he goes ganking. Like.
Yeah, that is something that a lot of people have done in the past. I think actually Cupid Red Pandas were one of the first teams who did farming Nyx into transition like a lifestealer who was jungling into the lane and then let him do his own stuff. But I do think that both teams have pretty solid drafts. I think that Meet Your Makers, I want to say I favor them slightly just because they have multiple methods of initiation, whereas Fnatic right now, they don't have any. And Meet Your Makers have good pushing potential even in the early game because of Mad Serpent Wards.
Yeah, and in the past couple of days of DreamLeague, it seems that the team that has more mobility generally comes out a lot better. Even if we favor the other team's draft saying it's more stable or whatever else, the team that moves quicker, that could join the fights much easier, just wins team fight. We've seen, Na'Vi just win multiple games just like that. Alliance winning a lot of their games like that as well. So I think Meet Your Maker's draft so far fits that ticket of, hey, I have a Blink Bat, I have a Blink Slaughter, I can catch up with my supports with things like Force Staff or whatnot. So I personally like Meet Your Maker's draft a little bit more as well. Fnatic seems like they need to get Snowball going. If not, like if they're on the back foot, these squishy supports are just going to get picked on all over the game. So I don't know about their draft so far, but let's see if their last pick's going to round things out.
Yeah, I do want to kind of point out what you just said, though, because if Fnatic do get ahead, then their lineup is crazy good. Because an over-leveled Veno and AA is so tough to deal with just because of the sheer damage that they can do. And then all of a sudden, Batrider and Shadow Shaman, if they don't get like shielded or something like that, when they get double ultied by the AA and the Veno, they could just flat out die.
And there's only one shield to go around, right? Like, so if those AoE ultimates hit half your team, then you're boned.
Yeah.
It has like a 4-second cooldown or something, though.
I think it's 6 at max or something like that, or 8 or something.
It has a 6-second cooldown.
Yeah, okay. So the one cool thing about Shield, actually, is that it does remove Poison Nova. It doesn't remove Gale, and it doesn't remove Sting, but it removes the ulti, which is the most significant portion of the damage.
Even though it's
even though it's non-lethal, it doesn't. I don't think it does.
Does it remove the damage at least, or it blocks the damage?
It blocks the damage, but it doesn't remove the slow.
Okay. Ooh. Wow. Okay. So earlier when you guys started talking about the players, we single out Mini as the person to talk about.
Right.
Which he's I guess the most known on the team. I want to talk about Exist. Even though he didn't have a very, very good showing yesterday against Alliance, to me he was a player that was not afraid of making the big plays. He first blooded S4 in the mid lane, Puck versus Invoker. Critically, I guess that was due to
S4 made a really big mistake there.
Yeah, made a mistake there. But remember what that Aegis steal attempt? Orbing into the pit. Yeah, it didn't work out there. He died for it. But not a lot of players would even be brave enough to make that play.
It shows the balls.
Yeah, it shows the balls. I think like when you have that kind of mentality, Pudge is just perfect for that type of hero, or that type of player where you want to dive and go for kills. But right as an answer back, they're going to go for a Night Stalker. Melee versus melee mid. Who does this favor? I gotta say, it goes with Night Stalker a little bit, right?
Yeah, it definitely favors Night Stalker, especially with the 4-minute night now. So he can pretty much get rune control crazy early. You can't really harass a Night Stalker as Pudge either, because ideally you turn on Rot, right, to start attacking him. And if you do that, he hits way harder than you.
Yes.
And he has much higher base armor, so you just take bad trades every time. I definitely favor him in the 1v1. Plus, there is no roaming potential at all, really, on the side of MYM. I'm assuming that's going to be a safe lane supporting Shadow Shaman. They might duel off lane, maybe put Ace and Mini together, and then just have a 2-1-2. Because their heroes are pretty level reliant. I don't really see them doing a defensive tri-lane because they want crit to hit 6 kind of, ASAP.
So it's all on Exist. Like, all the space creation is on him. Like, that's his goal.
Until Unicorn and Ace get blinks, yeah, that's pretty much on him.
I mean, but there is juicy targets, right? Veno and AA, one hook, one easy kill, and in combination of that Aphotic shield, like that Pudge could get pretty big pretty fast. So I'm hoping that Exist do really well, primarily because he's playing Pudge, and I'm also I have him on my fantasy team. So let's see how things go.
It's Era Night Stalker, so it's gonna be a farming Night Stalker.
Okay, Hani mid with Weaver. I love mid Weaver for a couple of reasons. First of all, you're gonna beat Pudge like it's easy. Like, it's so easy to beat a Pudge mid, especially when you are not really going to die to any Rot hook combo. Critically, you can also check runes and get to those runes so much easier with Sakuchi. So, well, no, never mind. They swapped back.
Oh, okay. I was all excited. I was like, man, Era's going to get so many points because he's farming a Night Stalker. It's going to be sick. But now Hani's playing it, so James is probably going to get more points. Sorry. I'm just like fantasy league mindset right now. I'm just like, damn it, Era, play the hero that's going to get kills. It's okay, though.
Fly might get a lot of kill.
Looks like they're going to fence, no? Or they're not. Safe lane.
Well,
30 seconds.
I don't think it's necessarily horrible for them to dodge, because the later the game goes, Arrow will eventually be able to transition to split push a bit, but he's going to have to be crazy careful, right? Because right now there's 4 potential Blink heroes on MYM, and that gets really scary. He's going to have some space creation of his own by that Night Stalker, and I think they're really willing to take the fights. That's the only reason I imagine you pick Night Stalker in a situation, is because you don't want to back down from the mid-game aggression.
Do you think being Dire, you have a disadvantage in the tri lane as well because of the pulling and that kind of stuff?
I think if you go aggressive as Dire, it's way harder.
Yeah.
I definitely think that Radiant have an aggressive tri-lane advantage in that sense, because you can pull the large camp near the wave.
And the trees are better as well, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a bit easier for sure if you're on Radiant's side, but there's no way they're going aggressive with that lane. It's an awful aggressive lane. They have 2 melee heroes and a Shadow Shaman who doesn't have great range. So,
well, in terms of examining lane, it is going to be a 2-on-2 setup like Andy predicted for MYM. They need the levels, and they're going to be getting it for a Bad and protecting the Ace Bat Rider up top. And of course, Exist on Pudge in the mid lane. He is going to have a tough time being dual lane against. He's just here for the experience. Maybe he's going to sit here for like a couple minutes and then decide to roam. But back to your point, Andy, how hard is it to roam against this lineup?
Well, if you're MYM roaming against Fnatic, Pudge basically can only go bottom. And if you can't like leave mid because there's 2 heroes and they're always going to know exactly where you're going, it makes Pudge's life even harder. So any potential gank that he actually wanted to try to do is going to be thwarted just because they're going to know for sure where he is at all times. So not really, I think, the ideal start for MYM, just seeing how the lanes are rolling out. And Hani's sitting at 4-4 right now. The Pudge has yet to get, okay, he just got his first creep kill right there. And even with the Abaddon here with shields, I don't really think it matters.
Now, I'm not sure whether you agree with this point, but I personally think just seeing how Dendy mostly play Pudge, I feel like the way he plays that he doesn't really care too much about the CS. I think as mid-hero goes, Pudge is probably one of the few ones that don't really care about as much of your early game CS. He just wants to get his level 5 and 6 as soon as possible, and then hopefully he's going to make his gold mostly through hero killing.
I partly agree and I partly disagree.
Okay.
The main thing that I have a problem with is if you don't get a bottle and urn and your boots, then your roaming becomes less efficient because you have to go to base more.
Sure.
Like if you don't have an urn, you have to sacrifice your HP for every gank no matter what, because you have to use rot to get kills. So if you're roaming and you don't have both of those items together, then there's a really good chance that you're just going to have a lot of downtime. And the more downtime you have as Pudge, the worse it is, because he's a snowball hero. And you don't want to spend a lot of time in base. So I do agree that kills are where the majority of his income does kind of establish itself, but at the same time, you need a base to build on, you know?
Yep, Venomancer looks like secured a haste rune for Hani, who has it in his bottle. Yeah, the other thing that Pudge really buys a lot of is Smoke of Deceit, which, 100 gold per pop. You really want to make sure that you get those early last hits, which Exist, unfortunately, is not getting.
Oh, Trixie. Yeah. Could be in some trouble here bottom lane. Crush is going to land after the Shackle. Trixie going to go ahead and pop the Spike Carapace. He's trying to get a double stun right here. He will be able to do it, but I think this is most likely going to be first blood. Yep, that auto attack. Crit manages to get it. So, Trixie going down here, first blood in favor of MYM. And that's a bit surprising, to be honest. Like, this is a lane where I didn't really see him dying that early.
I mean, I guess it was a good rotation here from Crit on the Shadow Shaman, just walking around. He did not have any Observer wards protecting himself, so there's that. Also, if we want to take a look in the Radiant jungle, we see Ace rotating back in due to a little bit of nice stacking done by our Abaddon player. Ace is going to farm this wave and get himself up to a quick Triangle Boots, I imagine? Or is it just straight up?
I think he just might have
the
boots for jungle. Yeah. It's definitely a lot nicer to have boots, like plain ones, just so you can actually...
No, he went bottom.
Yeah, bottle's good too.
Yeah.
You kind of do want to keep the bottle just because you know you're going to be in the woods anyway, and you can bottom room for your team. You have a tri-lane there, essentially, so it's always going to be pretty safe. And as long as Hani doesn't get it, it's still going to be all good, so...
Do you rotate back up the top after you farmed up a bit in the jungle with your newfound levels?
Well, you go top when you see the pressure on the tower, right? Like the wave starts pushing in, you go up there, you pop Firefly. Trixie's definitely in trouble again, yeah. He's going to get shackled. Wrong place at the wrong time. Hani's got a haster and he wants to try to turn this around. Ace does not have Firefly for another 5 seconds. They could potentially get a turnaround kill. The shield was used on Ace, the coil to follow it up. Flame break and a salve. stops a little bit of the damage. Well, doesn't stop it, but heals a bit. And yeah, it's going to be a death for Ace.
It's a good turnaround.
What a rune, man. If that wasn't a haste, there's no way Trixie was getting help there.
I mean, but that was a mistake in MY's own part, in my opinion, because they knew the haste rune was there. It was bottled for 2 minutes on the mid lane, and as soon as you saw a hasted Night Stalker 4 minutes into game during nighttime, I think the correct thing was to back off, even though they had 3 or 4 heroes there. Your Pudge wasn't going to contribute. The Bat Rider, like you said, had such low HP and mana, and he took an impale at the beginning of the fight. So I think it was a little bit of over-aggression by MYM, and they gave it all back to a team that benefits with a little bit of early game snowballing a lot more in the hands of a Night Stalker.
With the Pudge here, do you want to get him a TP scroll as quick as possible so he can rotate to lanes like without them seeing? Because he's playing really passive now, so he could disappear at any stage. You know
well, the thing with Pudge is it's kind of counterproductive to leave your lane before at least 6. Ideally, you want to be 7, because then you have the max range on your hook. It does the most amount of damage, and you can try to make things happen by like smoke ganking lanes and such and sitting in fog, which is the big deal with another 4-minute night, is that normally by now Pudge is like 5 or 6, which means that he has an extra rank into his hook, so he can actually hit you when you can't even see him. But Exist isn't going to have that kind of freedom because he's been dual laned against, so the time where he hits his stride is going to be a little bit later. So I just feel like his game in general is just going to be an uphill battle.
Yeah, I think the TP is mostly, if he does get one, it's mostly used as a counter ganking if they're tower diving somewhat. But again, like, look at the target you're trying to gank. Night Stalker, who if you hook him, he'll probably outrun you. Weaver is unkillable at this point. And Nyx Assassin's probably the easier kill out of the 3 cores, but he's going to be getting his level 6 very soon as well. So these are some very tough ganks for Pudge to make. And speaking of ganks, we're going to see Hani diving behind a tier 1 tower mini, though. Not an easy person to kill on that Abaddon. Exist is looking for the hook, but even if they hook Hani, what are they going to do against it? In fact, well, they're going to back up against a double damage Night Stalker. They just don't want to mess around with that.
I don't think there's any character scarier in the game at 6 minutes than a double damage Night Stalker.
Yeah, with phase as well.
Yeah, in the black and night, like hunting down everyone. Like.
Oh, he's going to get scouted out as well, I think, by Trixie. There's still a ward here on the low ground, so he should at the very least be able to see Trixie sitting there. But ASC is so low on health. This is the worst case scenario. The Impale, but Hani actually voids before the Impale
kill
damage
secure.
is built, and yeah, gets a very, very easy kill. There's some pressure being done top here by Fnatic. They got a couple of Venomancer wards down. No Tails kind of been... He's actually leveling ward, which I don't disagree with. Their push is a little bit weak, at least right now. And wow, Hani actually just gets a double kill in mid in the meantime. Picks off Exist, and Hani, he's amped right now. I think that actually kills him.
Yeah, because of the
amp. There's no way, man.
Yeah.
That Amplify, minus 10 armor.
Well, I mean, Worth, as you would say, you know, got a double kill in the mid lane.
How is that a double kill? That was so long between the 2 kills.
I think kill counts have 18 seconds in between. So
I don't know, man. That was ridiculous.
That was close to the end edge of the 18 seconds, but whatever, you know, it's nice.
Yeah, not bad. But Unicorn at least gets Hani killed, right? Like, it wasn't just Hani snowballing out of control. He gets a kill and then he ends up going down. But he's still 3-1 right now. He's all of Fnatic's kills.
So normally, if you look at most starter we see now play, generally they like to go Vanguard first, but it seems like Unicorn is skipping the Ring of Health altogether. He gone for the treads, and I think he might go straight for Blink Dagger, which, I mean, seeing how the game's going right now, they might need a Blink, because if you look at Hani, he is already up on that tier 1 tower, using every point of that Nightfall. And he sees Hani, or sees Mini. Well, Mini's going to shield himself and try to get out of there. Forces yet another TP from
cancel.
Pudge. Yep.
If he saw that cancel, I think honestly Fnatic would have just dove there, because if the Pudge doesn't TP, then there's nothing really stopping the Night Stalker from just going completely ham under the tower. There's no Dismember, there's no hook to worry about, but daytime does roll around too, and that's a bit of a bummer for him. And he is actually going a late Midas.
Cool. Yeah, Hani's been liking his Midas lately. Or maybe it's Armlet.
Armlet, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it could be an Armlet too.
I think Armlet would be better here, right?
Yeah, if he's maxing Hunter and the Knight, Armlet is probably the choice.
Okay, and he's going to find himself yet another double damage. He's going to wait for the second Nightfall for that. Speaking of Midases, it's going to be Era that has a Midas, and 900 gold to boot. So, I mean, Era have a lot of dive ability with that AA, but nobody to dive against because it's, you know, the Bat Rider that rotated off. But he's doing really well on the top lane, threatening to destroy that tier 1 tower.
Shit's going to go down.
All right, okay. Pudge is here, smoked up. Level 6. No Tails, the easiest hook target of his life. There you go. That's going to be the first hook of the game. They blow him up very easily. Teleportation is going to come in from Unicorn. A crush is going to hit on Trixie. Amp damage is up. There's a shackle. And they're going to get yet another kill very easily under the tower. And Pudge being involved in these early game kills, that's all he wants to do.
Damn it, No Tail. You have negative points now. I need you to step it up. A little bit. No, but I mean, that's what I was talking about. Just the smoke behind a tower. You can't really anticipate stuff like that. And he did actually reveal him before the hook came out, but it didn't matter because he was already pretty much right there. And the hook is very easy to land on a poor little Venomancer. He even has boots and his movement speed's only 335. That's like not really that fast at all.
Will exist. Oh man, if that was just a little bit further here, they would have got the kill. But I think critically, what that engagement got for MYM is level 7 on the Pudge, which is where he wants to be. And more critically, if you look at Unicorn, it's up to 1900 gold off those kills and assists. So once he gets the Blink Dagger, that's really where the fireworks is really going to start for MYM. I think MYM, despite their poor early game start, giving you double kill, triple kill to Hani, like I think they're quite okay. They're gonna answer back quite quickly now.
Oh, Ace. I don't think Trixie can actually.
He has a sentry ward, right? He's fine. Oh, wait, with that spike.
No, he didn't see him. Now he does because Trixie's spike actually wore off.
All right, Impale. That's
He's got the stun, but I don't think anyone else is close enough yet. They just back off. So no cigar for Fnatic, but they're still
applying pressure.
They're applying pressure. They're creating a little bit of space for Era. He's gonna try to get this last hit on the tier 1 and top lane. Mini's still kind of sticking around too. He just hit level 6. He has to wait for one more hit. Wow, Mini actually just gave it to him. That's a little bit weird.
And he might give himself to Era as well. Era, Gemini attack.
Go. No, he didn't do it. I really thought he would dive after he saw the ulti.
He had the deny as well, though.
And he still had time lapse, so even if he saw a TP, you could force a TP and at the very least use time lapse. Damn it, Era. Come on. Come on.
Get me these points.
You're my shining hope, man.
Drasco right now sitting at 8 points of Fantasy League, trailing by, I don't know, like 50 something.
Yeah, it's real bad. I thought it was like 25. It's like 50.
Yeah. Well, hopefully for Fnatic, their 3 game today earn a lot of points.
Weaver's a good character for tower diving though, so maybe there's hope.
I just need to like stealth edit all the values of stuff in the league so I can actually win this game.
Alright, looks like they're going to try to get a dive attempt here on Unicorn, but Unicorn just shops for the Blink Dagger, so even if he dies here, it's not exactly the biggest loss. I'm looking for MYM to start turning up that gear, because they're giving a lot of levels to crit on the Shadow Shaman in the mid lane, and support Shadow Shaman being involved in 3 kills. In fact, he's got the 3 kills.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
There's
fine.
double TP coming in. Trixie actually gets a spike carapace off as well. Exist going for this member. No way to cancel this. Looks like Trixie is actually going to be dying again. He hooks the creep.
Come on.
Yeah, that was questionable.
That's fine. That's fine.
They still get a kill. Trade 1 for 1. Obviously, Trixie's life is not really worth as much as Unicorn, but like you said, he just got his blink.
So. Yeah, so it's fine. And now Pudge healing himself up with the bottle. He has a smoke in the seat, so if he wants to start roaming a little bit aggressively, he can. Pops smoke in the jungle, not in front of any wards, so he is safe. But no tail, safer behind that tier 1 tower, and I think he should be fine.
He's only learned 1 point in the Gale. I usually get 2 for the damage.
Blink Dagger online here on Ace, and he's going to find No Tail. That's going to be yet another kill. Ice Blast is going to fly in, but not really going to do too much. Mini has his ultimate. That's going to debuff it.
He's going down here.
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
No, he's got the shield for himself. Looks like Shadow Shaman has one down. The hook flies and whiffs, and now Hani's going to work on the Night Stalker. He's going to go right on Mini. Mini's dead. The Blink Crush gets 3 hero, but not enough follow-up. Ace now being focused, trying to get himself out of there. No way. No cigar exists, so still has the hook. He's going to maybe look for Fly. Fly. Not moving at all, and he's dead, I think.
Oh, man. I think Eric can actually maybe go for this kill. This is getting quite low. Cold Feet's not going to proc, though. He barely gets out of range. He wants to go for the deny. Nobody doesn't get it. Eric picks up the double. That's my boy.
I've never seen Drasco happy in my life.
Unicorn whiffs the sun. He's going to sprint out of there, but he does have more mana for yet another Blink Crush when the Blink Dagger cools down in a couple of seconds. Trixie moving slow. I think Trixie's going to get crushed. Does he have Spike Care Burst? He does have the mana for it. He spikes it. What a play here. And Unicorn being silenced under the tower. Here comes Crit. He does have the Shackle. Where's it? Yeah, there's a Shackle. Where's the follow-up? The Pudge is coming right in. There's some Dismember. Now the AI Splash flies in. It's going to hit on everybody, but I don't think anybody's going to die. Unicorn dropping low. Here comes Era on the back line here. The shield's going to keep him alive for a little bit. Era. The hook's going to hit on No Tail. No Tail's going to get zapped away. Era's going to get voodooed. No Shackle. The Crush is going to come in. Unicorn's going to get the kill. And now Drasco's crying because Era is dying.
Oh, they actually had 2 sentries down and an observer in the same spot just to make sure they could see Era for that engagement. Man, that was so close. Really nice turnaround, though, from MYM, I have to say. For a second there, it was looking pretty bleak. Then I saw the double sentries, and I'm like, okay, this is probably going to end up just fine. And No Tail, man, he is the hook magnet.
Mid lane, Ice Blast is coming in here. Trixie, though. I think yeah, he was the tech right at Central Ward. I gotta say, MYM's looking very impressive with the preparation. They're always there with the detection. Heroes are always rotating. Unicorn is always there, you know, crushing 2 or 3 players. So I'm impressed.
Confidence to dive the tier 1 tower and knowing you're gonna get back up.
I mean, when you're playing heroes like Night Stalker and Pudge, you gotta dive, right? And speaking of dive, we might see one on the mid lane as Ace on his Bat Riders perking over the edge, looking for some kills.
Well, I'm a bit curious because as aggressive as MYM are playing this, they have yet to really get any big objective, you know? They've pretty much just gotten kills.
True, true.
So they haven't killed a single tier 1 tower. Era, in terms of overall net worth, I believe, is still pretty far ahead of the Slardar. Yeah, he's still like 2,000 net worth ahead. And at 15 minutes in, that's a pretty significant margin. That's an entire ultimate orb worth of money. And soon the Weaver is going to have his Lincolns. Then I think MYM are going to start having some more issues because as it stands right now, they only have 1 Blink Initiator, and he can only pop Lincolns or do a crush, you know? Like, he can't really catch out Era completely by himself.
Yeah, they're gonna try to get that tier 1 tower.
Excuse me, they have 2 blinks.
Yeah, they have 2 blink. One on Bat, one on Slaughter, and we might get more, right? Like you said earlier, there's 4 possible blinkers on the Radiant side, and these tier 1 tower gold is gonna be very, very key. Exist lets one fly behind the tower, not gonna hit. Critically, even getting these tier 1 tower down opens up the map a lot more for heroes like Bat Rider, Pudge to kind of roam deep into the enemy jungle and find those ganks. So these towers are worth more than just gold. The map position is very key as well.
Yeah, let's see if we start getting some offensive wards out so they can start roaming mad aggressive like.
I would imagine they will. And it looks like Hani did actually opt to go for the Midas, which is... I mean, it's typical Hani. He does that on pretty much every single hero that he plays.
We saw it in the solo mid Sven the other day.
Yeah. And the funny part about that game was, even though they were behind a lot, he still had a ton of farm at the end of the game. And I think he might be in some trouble here. Firefly's going to be popped. Ace is looking for a target. He's going to go straight for Hani. He's going to drag him into Unicorn. Even No Tail gets hooked on the back behind the tower. Here comes the Ice Blast. Manages to land on 2, and here comes the cleanup crew. The rest of Fnatic, they're going to try to turn this fight. Mini's ultimate's going to wear off. He wants to try to get Hani, but he's not going to be able to do so. And Trixie ends up picking himself up a kill. Era. He's going to find the DD in the river. Here comes the hook from Exist. Doesn't land. Crit's sitting there as well. Very, very dangerous to try to go for this. There is no detection, though, on either of these heroes from MYM.
They still want to dive more and Exist. He's looking for more hooks. It cools down the one. It's going to fly and miss. I mean, Exist is throwing these ones out, but they're not really connecting. I'm not sure about that initiation, though. The Bat Rider flew in and you know, grabbed one, and there was follow-up from Unicorn Slaughter, but the Pudge was over on the other side of the trees. There's no way for him to follow up, and I think Pudge is the person that you want to gank with right now because he just represents so much more damage. No Tail trying to run, trying to juke. All right, the creep wave comes, and that should be pretty good for him to get out of there. It's gonna hit. I don't think that was intended target, but hey, it counts. It counts for Exist. He gets another kill.
Kills the kill, man. Unicorn's here now, too. He's got his Ochre Club going towards that BKB. He's got Blink Dagger. They want to go ham on this tower.
Uh-oh. Here comes Ace. What?
Oh, he doesn't have Lasso. Yeah, it's on cooldown. Okay. Here comes the hook. Oh! That was close. That was really close. But yeah, looks like the bottom tier 1 is going to drop in favor of MYM. Denied by Fly.
All right.
Very, very nice. Gale's going to land on 2.
Here comes the Night Stalker. Hani coming right in. Mini's going to shield himself and continue to run Unicorn. Needs to start amping and start crushing. The crush barely hits on Hani, and they're going to try to drive him back. Here comes Era on the back line with that Sakuchi. The Ward Trap perhaps on Hani. No, not just yet. Now Ace blinking in. He does have the Flaming Lasso, but dropping low. Blink on Crit. 3 Blink Dagger. They find No Tail. No Tail's going to get blown up. Crit dropping low. He's going to go down to 2 support tier 4. MYM has dropped, and it's retreat time for MYM. They have a good path to retreat to because of those Serpent Wards. Where's the Pudge? Is finally coming in on the backside. I heard a Flaming Lasso on the south side of the fight. They're going to go on Era. Can he get up the Time Lapse off? No, he cannot. Hani diving past the Ward. So here comes the Pudge. Swallow Pudge. Easiest hook of your life. No, not. Thanks. Impale. Hook.
There it is.
What a play. What a play.
Do you think they're punishing the Midas here from the Night Stalker? He's died twice now in them
situations. I don't really like the Midas on Night Stalker. I mean, sure, even if he dies a few times, the Midas will help him like recoup the gold they'd otherwise lost. But if he just had something like an early BKB and he could just tunnel vision a target, I think that would be way more effective than just having a little bit extra gold. Because he's the one who's supposed to really be making space for the team.
4 Blink Daggers.
And it's really hard to make space when you don't have tankiness, you know?
It's alright. So one side we have two Midases. The other side we have 4 Blink Daggers. I mean,
Blink seem to be winning right now.
Yeah, man.
I'm just saying.
We just talked about during the drafting phase, a team with more mobility is going to find much more, and especially in these kind of hectic, scrappy team fights. With that said, though, No Tail Serpent Wards is going to be doing a ton of work in these fights, just being there, canceling Blink Daggers, just being very, very annoying.
The phase boots came into play there. He ward trapped them. He just walked out of them.
Oh, okay, so it was a ward trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, man, Crit must be pretty sad about that. But he's really not that sad. He's got a freaking blink. He's 8-2 on a support Shadow Shaman.
Whoever has Crit right now is smiling. Because
does anyone in our league have Crit? I don't think they do.
I don't think so.
Nobody's giving MYM boys credit, and they should be.
I'm just saying, man. I said that they weren't bad players, and they're definitely showing that they can hold their own.
All right, Meet Your Maker exists. Blink, hook. I mean, if you're playing support like, you know, your AA and your Veno, who is absolutely food to these Pudge ganks, I mean, what do you do?
Cross your fingers and pray.
Yeah. The buddy system's pretty good as well.
I don't know, man.
If you have a blink, though, it's so easy to just pull somebody out of position because you can blink and hook him away from the person that you're with, and AA and Veno don't necessarily react that fast, you know?
Is it 5-man time here for Fnatic?
I think their 5-man is actually kind of weak right now in comparison to MYM's. Especially since Crit is like so over-farmed and over-leveled. He almost has level 2 ult at 20 minutes, which is pretty significant.
Well, it looks like Fnatic, regardless, is going to 5-man on the bot and try to take a tier 1 tower. I think MYM has a choice to go down, set up shop here in front of the mid-tier 2 tower with the Serpent Wards, if that's what they want to do. Looks like Pudge is roaming behind. He's going to, well, Trixie's going to find him. No, Pudge is going to blink out. Yeah, I think going for the tier 2 is just much a safer option, especially when you have Serpent Wards. And they do just that.
And there's no way... well, actually, they could actually defend this, yeah. If they TP. It did hit on 2. And just look at how much damage that does. Crit only has 800 health. And that's a level 1 Ice Blast. It's not even level 2.
They do have an Urn, though. And they do have the Abaddon. So the HP is going to slowly get healed back up. Looks like Fnatic's going to try to surround this from all sides, but there is 4 Blink Dagger again. That's really, really tough to deal with.
From behind, but this is so dangerous.
Man, ASUS, got to be careful who is he initiating on. Era is a very easy target, but he does have Lincoln Sphere, so never mind.
Yeah. He has Force, though. I mean, he can still technically get it. It's just going to be hard.
He doesn't have any boots.
Oh, you don't need boots when you can Shikuchi, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't. But this is one of the stages in the game where it's really hard for Fnatic to make anything happen because Era doesn't necessarily have enough to make his teamfight impact that high. He's got 1 core item, and it looks like he might just be going Naked Deso, or, I mean, he could potentially go BKB, but I don't think that's going to be it. He really needs some kind of damage output so he can start becoming a real threat, or even just split push for that matter, just so he can start being, you know, somewhat useful. But it's not, it's just a hero, you know? You just need so much to be relevant.
Deso's really good against Pudge as well because he's really low base armor.
Yeah. He's butter, as some people would say.
What's your thought on Hani's Acceptor? Acceptor is generally not a very popular choice on a hero like Night Stalker.
I like it against Bat.
Yeah, in this game, I think against Bat Rider, Pudge, all these kind of high mobility gankers, especially with those Blink Daggers, the more vision you have is very, very key. So, decent choice here.
And speaking of vision, look at the river right now for Fnatic. They see everything. And they've de-warded. The only thing, or only ward really that MYM has in the area is near the side shop, or the secret shop, but they didn't go that way, so it didn't give them any vision pretty much whatsoever. And Era's going to be the one to pick it up. I don't know if I like that, to be honest. I would have given it to Hani.
Yeah, Night Stalker is the person you really wanted on. Crit is going to eat Ice Blast to the face, but he does get the tower on the Rasta.
Halfway to Aghanim's on Ancient Aberration.
Yeah, once he gets that, suddenly those ults are going to be a lot more problematic, especially when No Tail manages to get 11, which probably won't be for ages because it's 23 minutes in and he's level 8. So clearly not had the easiest time.
Exists, looking for the hook.
Ooh, so close.
And Hani's on the backside.
Oh, it does remove Gale. Huh.
Yeah, I was surprised that it doesn't.
I thought it didn't for some reason. It's probably because BKB doesn't get rid of it, like doesn't get rid of the slow.
Is under attack.
That's weird. Learning Dota 2.
Man, I saw somebody describe Dota 2 as a so shattering difficult game, and I agree, man.
I do agree with that. Yeah,
Dota 2 is actually a very difficult game in terms of playing it very well and
and it's unforgiving as crap.
Yeah,
You're unforgiving as crap.
That's true.
All right, No Tail.
The first time I played with you, I was playing Visage, and you're just screaming at me to micro the birds, and I'm like, who's this guy screaming at me? And why do I have to play with him?
That's everyone gets trial by fire, Shane. That's how it works. You play, and if you do well, it's fine. If you do bad, the freaking wheels just come off, you know?
Well, speaking of the wheels coming off, I think MYM really needs to do a little bit more. Earlier, Andy was saying that we need a more map objective, so we took down a couple of towers, we took down tier 2, but they need more because on the other side, you have very dangerous items being built up, such as the Axe Scepter on Ancient Apparition. They have 2 Midases. They definitely will scale into the late game much, much better. So we better see MYM either get a lot more kills or a lot more towers, and so far they're not finding much. Crit, though, does find Trixie in the jungle. Batrider is going to follow through. They should have enough Chain Stuns to bring Trixie down. Unfortunately, they had to use Lasso for that. So it's not exactly the longest cooldown spell in the game, but that's going to reduce your opportunity to find a little bit more stuff. Again, like, they're getting these kills, but what are they doing with the kills? Unicorn's TPing to defend the top tower. So I think Fnatic has this game right where they want it, despite being down for 5 kills.
Yeah, I don't think that Fnatic are really feeling that much pressure at the moment. It's just, okay, let's try to calm down the pace of the game for the next 5-10 minutes, get Era maybe another item. He finishes his Deso, which is huge. So now he's got quite a bit of damage. Really, the name of the game is just don't get picked. As long as it's nighttime and Fnatic has the Night Stalker on their team, Aghanims on Hani, it's going to be really difficult for them to get in a good position unless they smoke. And even if you do, that thing is pretty much built-in map hack, and even a gem now on Hani. So looks like his poor little Venomancer teammate has bought him a gem.
Does the gem give you the full vision of the Night Stalker Aghanims ulti, or is it just like the...
No, it's just the normal gem range, which I think is like 700 or 800 or something like that.
Sounds about right.
I think it's 7 or 800.
Uh-oh, Crit is going to walk right into Hani, but the silence actually goes onto the Pudge, surprisingly. Blinks, Trixie, triple impale, that's going to find them. Looks like they want a little bit more. Exists, getting healed up here by Mini. It's going to be a buyback coming out here from Crit. Unicorn cannot blink because those wards, but it looks like Crit will blink. He finds Noto, another 2-man stun from Trixie. The Ace is going to find Fly, still alive right now. Nice hook here by Exist to deal out a lot of damage. How much will they chase and how much will they get is the question.
I don't really agree with Era chasing here. He's going really, really hard. There's no ult. Here comes the Blink Crush again by Unicorn. They want to go for Era and Impale in the meantime. And Exist, he gets the hook on Hani. They're going to be able to bring him down. The gem is on deck. The Mass Serpent Ward's doing quite a bit of work. Era going to be forced to time-lapse. He's still alive right now, but they do manage to pick up the gem. Another Blink Crush. Unicorn hits him blind. There's the amp. Or actually, wasn't blind at all. They popped the Aegis. The gem is now on the Batrider.
And they have gem.
Yeah, they have the gem. And my game just completely lagged out, so you're going to have to take over.
Well, not much else to see as Era gets cleaned up. That was a 5-for-2 trade, 5-for-3 trade. Unfortunately, Crit died buyback and died twice, but he did so much in that team fight. But let's not forget, even though Fnatic lost a fight, how many 2-3-man impales did Trixie hit on that Nyx Assassin? I think it was like 3 or 4 2-3-man impales, which is impressive in its own right. Unfortunately, it's MYM that cleaned up. I think the tier 1 tower dropped in the duration of that fight, and perhaps Fnatic took it, but yeah. Big win here for the Meet Your Maker boys.
Yeah, they got 2 gems now. I don't understand why Era was chasing Unicorn that whole time. Like, if he just went to help his team and just hit Pudge, or they would have killed everyone because he did so much damage. But he was so focused on trying to kill Unicorn that he just completely forgot about the rest of the fight and just left his team out to dry. No one really does any damage but him at this point.
Well, I guess Hani
does it.
Hani does, but Hani died. So once that happens, it's like...
Also, did you guys see whether if Venomancer dropped a good ultimate in that fight, or whether
he hit like one person?
Okay, how about the AI Splash?
I think that actually hit a few, but I was really following the fight where Era was chasing like behind the tier 2, so there was kind of like 2 fights going on simultaneously, but I really have to say that Era should not have chased that at all. That was like a really bad decision. Yeah,
normally you assume that, you know, when there's a very crazy, chaotic fight like that, the team with the Night Stalker and the Weaver should do a lot better.
Especially with the vision from Aghanims, like you're not missing anything, like people can't juke you.
Yeah, but it's the 4 Blink Daggers again, like they just could be wherever they want to be. And now Mech is online on Mini, so I think this is tier 2 tower bot time, I think.
Yeah, Slider is catching up with Weaver in the net worth as well.
Yeah, he's not really far behind at all, and Weaver has 3 deaths. Unicorn is actually 0-2. Didn't even notice that. He doesn't have a kill to his name, but he's got 9 assists, man. So he's keeping it real.
You do earn points on assists, I think.
Yeah, you do, but not very much. I don't think.
All right, it's gonna be a tier 2 push here for Meet Your Maker. Ice Blast is gonna slow things down. That's cool, but
it's all 2 now. And he's actually only 400 away from Aghanims.
I think once Aghanims is gonna turn, like it's gonna surprise MYM how much damage it actually does. And hopefully, for MYM's sake, they don't, you know, lose fights because of it.
I don't know, I was really skeptical about this Pudge, but Exist has managed to make something from nothing. Yeah. I really think given the start that he had, he should have just been like a total non-factor, but he still managed to turn it back.
It was that fight in top lane as well when he rotated and got level 7. All of a sudden, everything was rosy. Look.
And look at aggression. They're going to go right on high ground. MYMC's blood in the water. And they're going for a ton of these Serpent Wards, or excuse me, the Venom Wards. They're slowing it down. Ice Blast is going to come in. It's going to hit on 2 members. And it's going to warn it back.
Yeah, only Unicorn got hit, which is fine. But no Glyph. MYM are actually deciding to not push this, which I'm a little bit surprised about. I think they almost had everything. The only thing they didn't have is Mass Serpent Wards.
Yeah, the Mass Serpent Wards actually got killed by the Venom Wards. I really think that you need to focus down the Venom Wards first. Because they...
That's hard, though.
Yeah.
They keep coming. Like, they keep... It's never ending.
I mean, if they come one by one, that's okay, because how little they do. But if you let them stack like the way that it was on the bot lane, it's really, really hard to actually sustain a push.
Well, for me personally, it's actually getting to that point in the game where the supports on MYM are going to have too much to really even deal with, because Mini now has a Ghost Scepter. That Shadow Shaman is either going for Aghanims or BKB, either of which will be really nice for him, because then he can either channel Shackles or he'll just have that much more substantial pushing capability. And even Era is not going to be able to really do much. I mean, he still needs another item, and he has to go BKB, which is terrible for him. Like, he doesn't want to go BKB in these situations.
Right. As Drasko would say, going for BKB loses you the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game-losing item in the sense that it puts you behind, respectively, in damage output.
One of the best items in the game, though.
Huh?
One of the best items in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best items, but it's a game-losing item.
We'll let people figure that one out. Yeah. Although, I do want to ask you about this. I'm not sure what I would agree with the Ghost Scepter on Abaddon for Mini. I think it's a great item for something like, let's say, crit. But I think if you're Mini, Force Staff would suit you much, much better, because if you're being gone on by the Night Stalker or whatever, sure. Like, you have mech, you have your ultimate, you're mostly fine. I think if crit is in trouble, you Force Staff away from the target, or you shield him, or you Force Staff yourself to shield him. So, just a little, like, slight disagreement. I'm not sure whether you agree with my disagreement on the Ghost versus Force.
I think that the Ghost lets you be closer at all times in proximity, so you never really have to force yourself into the position in the first place. You're just on the front line the whole time.
Okay.
Because if you have a mech, you should be in the foray anyway, right? Until at least your ulti is popped, which is just the guaranteed get-out-of-jail-free card. So I do think that mobility is always good. I'm not arguing against that. I'm just saying that his method of doing what you're saying is just different. Like, he's still going to be in the right spots at the right time, but his item choice just makes it so he's on the front line immediately instead of putting himself in a position.
Okay, fair enough. Ace, Bootish travels up top. He is going to be going most likely for a Shiva's Guard. So these armors are being stacked up. And speaking of defensive items, we have Exist finishing a Pike, and that's going to help against the Ice Blast so much. I think Venomancer at this point is a complete non-factor with his ultimate.
He's also gone for Aghanims as well.
Who has?
The Venos, the AA has his Aghanims. Yeah, and Veno is going.
Well, Veno, I don't think he's going to finish his Aghanims unless.
Believe in him.
Well, unless if this game goes long enough,
I would be surprised if they get that far.
Yeah.
Because I think Fnatic are actually pretty far behind right now. Oh, the BKB could turn everything around, though, to be honest.
They don't have a mech, do they?
No, no one on the side.
Yeah, Fnatic is a team that just like don't give a damn about mech, right? I think last time we were casting the game, we're looking around, where's their mech?
Oh, Era, how did you miss that tower last hit? It was just one catapult, man. Just kill the tower. Well, AA ult on top, but it doesn't really matter. Mass Serpent Wards are used. MYM secured themselves a tower, and Crit gets the kill, so whoever has that guy on their team is just making out like bandits.
10-4-6.
And he's gotten multiple tower kills, I think.
I think MYM is getting to a critical level of items. You know, AC now finish on the Slardar. We have Shiva's coming soon to Batrider. I mean, MYM may not have the best late game heroes, but they're definitely having the best late game items.
No, I think that their item choice has been pretty much spot on. Here comes the initiation, though. Trixie going to get caught out. The Amplify's there as well. Ace dropping quite fast. Doesn't actually get a lasso in that team fight. Dismember on Honey as well during the BKB. Now they want to chase on Unicorn. He's still quite tanky, though. He has that AC. Do they want to turn this around?
They can.
There's actually a smoke drop. Exist goes for the hook, just barely misses Hani. Gale comes out from No Tail, also going to be just off the mark, but a 1-for-1 exchange. They take away one of the initiators of MYM, and they end up losing Trixie in the process. So I don't think that was terrible.
It wasn't. And in fact, you lost Batrider during a very crucial moment in time, which is Roshan. So Batrider's probably the best hero MYM's got in terms of scouting Roshan and whatnot. And it looks like they're going to break it down very quickly.
DD on Hani, yeah.
Yeah, this is actually a very, very good turn here for MYM.
Give it to Era again.
You punch. Blink hook. Oh, the wards are right there, just canceling those blink daggers. So annoying. The Roshan's gonna go down. It's back time here for MYM. You don't want to take a fight, especially against the Aegis. Gale does hit. They do have shield though. Exists, tanking up in the front line here. Blink crush on Era. Era does have the Aegis, so he doesn't really care. MYM's got it back right now. You don't want to take this fight. Exists dropping low. He's going to be dead as well. MYM just can't make up their mind. Do they want to fight or retreat? Here comes the Bat Rider. Teleporting in. Crypt dropping low. He needs a force or something to get himself out of the fight. He's going to get shut down here by Era as well. Time-lapsing back in those wards. He's okay. He's still alive here. Era is wrecking it in the back line. He sees Mini. A Gemini attack's going to break the shield. Trixie now on the chase as well. The Gale does hit from low ground to high ground. Mini. The Impale does hit Era. How are you still alive? He's going to get the kill, and Era is making a hell of a point here for Drasco.
Yes! Go, my minion. Get me points.
Did they have any vision there on the ground?
No, they have no Bat Rider. That's a problem. When Pudge missed the hook, they needed to back right the hell out because the wards are killing them.
They lost both their gem heroes right away. Like, those are the first two people that died. Ace died and Exist died. Those are the two who had the gems. So all of a sudden, you have no vision. Both gems given back to the side of Fnatic. They can deward the entire map. Now they wipe MYM off the map completely. And my boy Era secures me some very much needed points. Look, that's like the highlight of the game for me, okay? Like, I don't really care if they win. Just kill some heroes, kill some towers.
No.
And don't die.
For the rest of us that doesn't have Era on their team, you know, that care about the result of this game. I like, you know, earlier during the staff, or the table discussion, whatever you call it, you know, James was saying Cloud9 versus Fnatic's the highlight of the game. I would respectfully disagree. This is one of the highlights of the tournament so far because Pudge is doing a lot of work, and now Fnatic, who had a rough start, is right back in this game without looking at Go Graph. Don't cheat.
I was literally
right
before you said it. I was going to open it, but
as we see a fight on the mid lane here, it's going to be Crit getting blown up. Dagon online here for Trixie. Who do you think is ahead, and how far do you think they're ahead by?
I would say that it's probably damn close to even, like just in terms of overall.
5K Fnatic.
It looks like
wow, it's actually it's pretty close to even on experience, like pretty damn close. Gold only like 4,000 in favor of Fnatic, which isn't huge, but I think that turnaround middle was pretty much the entire discrepancy between the gold. So,
and again, who uses gold better, right? You're looking at one side who has, again, two Hands of Midas that arguably goes deeper in the late game. Sure, the support duo of the Crit Rasta, or Crit Shadow Shaman, excuse me, as well as Mini Abaddon perhaps extend into late game a little bit better. But once you have dual Aghanim Scepters up on No-Tail Venomancer as well as Fly Ancient Apparition, I feel like these two has way better AoE damage control.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the support picks from Fnatic just because, like I said, you can get your spells off, and it doesn't matter at that point if you die. Like, clearly you're not intentionally trying to get yourself killed, but you have an Aghanim's Poison Nova and an Aghanim's Ice Blast that if you take prolonged fights against heroes like Weaver and Night Stalker who excel at kind of just walking around and kiting out your team, you're just going to take more and more damage. So the kind of strategy that they've employed is an older one, but it's definitely working out for them, at least right now.
Big smoke coming out from Fnatic. They have the map hack vision. Here comes Aso. He does get stunned up here by the Spike Carapace. He drops very, very quickly. Crit, force to pops BKB running away from Hani's double damage. A War Trap, not going to do too much though. The Blink Crush not hitting, but No-Tail gets caught in the backline. He dropped his ultimate already. Now here comes Era, the Superman, trying to do some work. MYM will regroup. Bat Rider buys back. He does have his ultimate available, but no Firefly critically. Will MYM give chase?
I don't think they have to. I mean, well, they should, but I don't think Fnatic have to fight, is what I meant to say. I think they can just turn around and be perfectly okay with this, because Era's got another 4,400 gold to his name. His net worth has skyrocketed over Unicorn, who previously was about neck and neck with him. So he's like 6,000 ahead now, which is a full item. At this stage in the game, that's a huge deal. He could go for something like a Butterfly, maybe even a Daedalus if he wants to just do more damage. He's got the Aegis on him, so I actually wouldn't hate to see another damage item just to get that more impact in the next fight, because you know you'll just respawn anyway.
What about a Manta style against the Slider?
I don't think Manta is really that necessary when you already have time-lapse and BKB. Both technically remove it, at least if you time-lapse at the right time. And BKB always removes AMP. You can just reapply it.
Oh, No-Tail. The Gale. That's going to hit. The Ice Blast. That's key. How many members does it hit? It hits 2. Pretty good start of the fight here. Crit, and it's initiating the go. Okay, I guess it saved him, but I don't know. But No-Tail is dropping low. He's dead so far. Hani on the right side here. He's right-clicking with the BKB. Era, my God, he's doing so much damage, and nobody could do a damn thing against him. Era's on the chase, and they bring down the Bat Rider a second time. The gem gets dropped, so no more true sight vision. It's looking really bad for MYM.
That was unfortunate turn of events. Like, Unicorn blinks in with BKB, hits 2 with the crush, and then gets immediately hooked out. Like, that was worst case
I think he would have died though if he didn't get hooked out. So I was like, maybe it was actually good.
Well, he's the tankiest one on his team.
I guess so.
He's got AC and he's got BKB.
He's Abaddon behind them as well.
Yeah, it's not really that bad. I don't know. I definitely think the hook was a bit of a misplay. He does end up going for Butterfly. Era though might be giving up the Aegis here. He doesn't even get the time lapse. I guess he needed the inventory space anyway. So hashtag worth it as long as he doesn't go down one more time.
I think he just got like killed before he even came out of time lapse. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he got killed extremely fast, but look at that. My screen is bugged. Like, it's just straight up bugged. He has 2 applications of amplify damage on him, so it just says he has minus 33 armor. Like, I don't even know what's going on my PC, but it's not Dota.
He has minus 20, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. In terms of item choice, he goes for a straight butterfly. The evasion is going to be very nice to the Slaughter right clicks. And
the Serpent Wards, can you dodge them?
Yes, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
You can dodge anything. That's a physical attack, basically.
You can dodge a wrench.
Yeah, you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
So, how does MYM make their comeback? Because, you know, they haven't lost the game yet. It's looking pretty bad for them with these fights. And,
they don't have a comeback team, though. That's the thing. Like, they have to outplay to come back.
Oh, come on.
That's how you come back at this point. No, I mean it. Like, look at their heroes. They have nothing but blink initiators.
Touch infinite scaling, though. Flesh sheep.
Infinite scaling if you get kills, which means that you have to outplay.
All right, it's gonna be a big smoke coming in from MYM. Well, there is a huge amount of warding being done. If you look at the mini map, it's 4 Fnatic wards deep in the Radiant side. I'm not sure whether it spotted out that smoke. It looks like it has not. Batrider's got to get that initiation. I really think perhaps a play email he got should have been a BKB or work towards it, because see Spike Carapace initiation is killing him.
I definitely agree with the BKB choice. I think it would have been way better. Just so you can preemptively BKB Firefly, blink, and then you don't have anything to worry about. Like, nothing on the side of Fnatic really outside of right clicks is that big of a threat to you. And later in the game, you can just pick up a casual plate mail. It's only 1,400. It's not that big of a deal. Although I guess he did have to buy back, what, 2 times?
Yes.
So far this game?
He's been dying a lot.
Helped him. Here comes a blink crush from Unicorn. He's still got the BKB to pop it if he wants to. He gets dagged actually before it even goes off, and now he is having a real sad time. Pretty slow at the moment, sitting at about half HP. And that is a short duration BKB. I don't think MYM can fight this. One of their carries is already half health. Era, he's on the chase right now. He wants to get it. Carapace stun on Ace as well. Unicorn still is AA ulted for a couple more seconds. Ace ends up going down. It's a mega kill for Era, and now Era wants more. He wants to go on crit in middle. He picks up the double, and now he's continuing to chase. A hook onto Mini to secure the TP away. Nice team play there from Crit, but I think that MYM, they overstayed their welcome there a little bit.
Yeah, and now Unicorn is farming on the top lane, trying to create some space. The Crew Wave, he needs to get out of there. They have flying vision. Uh-oh. Blink, my friend, get out of there. No, they does cancel Blink Dagger. The Dagon comes on. He's trying to sprint himself out of there, but Blink, Blink, Blink. There's a silence. Blink! And TP, but vision. But there's no spells to cancel it, so all right, that's good. Back in the mid lane, the Mini's trying to run. The Ice Blast is coming. The Ice Blast hit on Unicorn. Unicorn's in the base right now, and he's trying to survive, but there is full 17 seconds of the minus HP-ness.
That damage. Era just obliterates Exist inside of the base before No Tail even dies while being dismembered. And the funny thing about that is No Tail actually got the kill on Mini. It's just, I think, random poison sting damage, because it credits the kill to AALT to whoever does the damage before the ult actually kills them.
Right.
So
at 12% there.
Yeah. It was definitely an exciting game, to say the least. Much different than the last game we saw yesterday.
The game's not over yet. I think MYM's going to have one more fight left in them. They have the Mass Serpent Wards. They have the Batriders. You cannot let these... Oh, here we go. The Crush is going to go on Era. They're blowing everything onto him. The wards should be focused on Era, but Era, he is still alive. There's a timeout to bring him back to full HP. Unicorn's going to get dropped, and that's got to be the beginning of the end. GG gets called, and Fnatic wins a exciting one for the opening match of today.
It was an awesome game.
That was a really exciting game to watch.
We get to see it again.
And I gotta credit MYM, because they picked a lineup that, even from the draft, I said I liked it, but there's this feeling of we have to outplay our opponents to really seal it, you know?
And they outplayed them in the beginning portions of it.
Pretty heavily, I would say.
Yeah.
Like the reinitiations, especially Unicorn, getting the clutch, Blink crushes in. Era definitely made a huge mistake when they had the Aegis, when they were fighting near the tier 2 on Radiant side, and he decided to chase the Slardar instead of helping his team. I feel like that fight actually should have went to Fnatic, but Era just got tunnel vision like really, really hard for the Slardar. So otherwise, I think it was still a really, really good game, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Shane, you got anything
Do you think
else?
we'll see similar picks like the Pudge? Do you think that was just a once-off kind of strategy, or do you
I think that Exist, given the circumstances, did a really good job. Like, I mean, he had the worst possible lane ever. He was against Venno Nightstalker as a Pudge. That is like sadness incarnate for him.
He had a good rotate though. He was looking a bit grim at the start, and then he got his level 7, and he was like, "Yes, I'm ready, lads. Let's do this."
All right, so we're going to be back, guys, with another match at ASUS ROG Dream League. It's going to be Fnatic taking on MYM for the second time right after the break. Stay tuned.